Hi everybody, this is Alice, Bejeweled Hedgehog, just here for a very quick vlog because I am very tired. Um, oh, if you have not seen Bruno's video, Dump for Stump, hi Bruno, you should watch it because he has some really cool tea drinking accessories. He sent me some Argentine tea, and some of the teas that he sent me were mate. And this is a wonderful mate. Oh, by the way, Bruno, I have tried both the mates and I absolutely love them. This is mate with bergamot oil in it, so it's Earl Grey mate. When when bergamot oil is added to tea, whatever kind it is, black tea or green tea, mate, whatever, that's what makes it the Earl Grey style of tea. And this is absolutely wonderful. It has that really nice kind of bitter, but not bitter like coffee or anything. Coffee, no. So anyway, I love mate, and this is really good. And this is another box of mate in bags. And I love it. He suggested that I try it with milk and sugar. And normally I don't. I actually like it. And I also like green tea, mate and green tea, without any sweetener at all. I like it as it's a kind of a mixture of smooth and bitter. This one in particular is really good. I mean, it definitely has that kind of bitter flavor to it, but it's not horribly bitter. I don't know how else to describe it. It's really good. And when I had it with milk and sugar, it was wonderful. It was sweet. It was kind of soothing and pleasant. It definitely had that mate taste to it. So anyway, Bruno, in his video, and he will be listed below as one of the vloggers I love to watch, Dump for Stump, showed how they prepare mate in Argentina with gourds and how it's a social habit. Basically you put the loose tea in a gourd. You can see all this in his vlog, and you add hot water and you pass it around and you drink it through a metal straw. So I wanted to show everybody my gourd and straw because I got one as a gift from my brother-in-law Jose, who is from Argentina. However, I had a bed bug thing. I didn't have bed bugs, but the apartment management irritated the heck out of me by insisting on treating me anyway. So I had to put a bunch of my stuff in boxes, and then I got kind of mad and decided I was going to move out. Long story short, I think I packed my gourd. But, of course, I didn't empty my utensil drawer, and here is my straw. And Bruno's is a pretty metallic gold. I guess mine is just more of an ordinary straw. This is the tip. You drink through here. And this is the bottom, and you can see it's perforated with little holes. Hopefully you can see it's perforated with the little holes. Showing things on this camera is just not my talent. Yeah, there you can see the holes. And for cleaning purposes, see, this slides up and down, this here, and you slide this up, and that little thing falls open, and you can clean out the inside. Oops, so let me close it all up. And sadly, my gourd is not where I thought it was. So when I went through in my I'm going to move huff, and packed everything that I, didn't think I was going to use immediately. Primarily some stuff that was in the dining room. As well as all these. All my books, well, many of my books are in boxes. Some of them, if I kind of lean from one side to another, they keep creeping out. I keep wanting to read something, and I put my books in clear plastic tubs. Oh, this is so humiliating. I really don't want to show people this, but I will anyway. Let's see. My apartment. Okay. What once was a lovely apartment now has crates of books. Yeah, there's my sofa. I had an old sofa, and when I got mad and decided I was going to move out, Here are some more tubs, and yes, that kind of is a yarn stash over there. More books, a bookshelf. Let's see if I can point you behind me. Yep, more tubs, and some stuff that made it out onto a shelf. Okay, sad little apartment tour. If I do not move this fall, and I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, here I am. I hope you're not dizzy and sick. I truly apologize. Clearly, I should never quit my day job and try and be a filmmaker. People will be, like throwing up from motion sickness in the theaters. But anyway, if I change my mind and don't move at the end of this summer, I'm going to have to unpack all this stuff. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. I was talking about gourds. Well, anyway, there's a couple of boxes in the dining room too, which is over that way, and I suspect my gourd is in one of them. So, yeah, mate drinking is a social thing, and it's really, really funny because, you know how little kids are? The concept of ABC gum that's already been chewed. Little kids will do anything. They'll be chewing on gum. One of their friends wants some. They'll just take it out of their mouths, pull it in half, and give their friend another piece, and everybody just keeps right on chewing. And somewhere along the line in childhood, at least with me, it gets pounded into your head. Oh no, you don't put something into your mouth that has, somebody else been in somebody else's mouth. You don't eat off the same fork, blah, 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 blah. If you want to split, a soda, you get 2 separate straws. So his parents, now Jose and his older siblings have lived in the United States most of their lives. Jose's parents worked for Inter-American Development Bank, and they came here when he was 5. So, he's pretty much, he's as Americanized as my sister and I in terms of social habits. But his parents, of course, really, follow and appreciate their original Argentine culture. So after I got to know him and his parents a little bit, I was visiting with them, and they were passing this thing back and forth that they were drinking from, and I thought it was a little strange. I really honestly didn't understand why they didn't just get 2 cups. And then all of a sudden, his mother smiles and hands it to me, and I'm like, bubonic plague, no. I mean, obviously, they don't have diseases, but it's like everything that has been pounded in my head, from nursery school upward about, don't share germs. It's like, okay. But it was funny. I really enjoyed the mate, and then, the whole custom was explained to me, and I was so fascinated with it, I eventually ended up with my own straw and gourd. So anyway, Bruno is cool. Bruno is awesome. Hi, Bruno. And take a look at he'll be listed in my wonderful vloggers list down below as Dump for Stump, and take a look. Other than that, very tired. I'm just in one of these moods where I just feel kind of not too terribly talkative. I just kind of want to curl up and go to bed, except that I'm almost done Beanie's green poncho, so if I simply don't sleep between now and next Tuesday, I might be able to get the white poncho done too. I stopped by the grocery store, and I went to a different one that I don't usually stop at because I was coming from a slightly different direction this evening, because I had dropped my nieces off at one of their many, many lessons before I came back. And anyway, this grocery store has a really surprisingly good book section for a grocery store, and I don't know what possesses me to do this. I just feel like this magnetic pull saying, Alice, you just have to see what's there. Just look at it. So, of course, George R.R. Martin, he's the one that is doing the Game of Thrones and that whole series on HBO. And I did a review of all his books. Well, not all his books, but all his books in that particular series so far. But he also has done a vampire novel called Fever Dream, And here it is in a nice little mass market paperback. And the master of modern fantasy's groundbreaking vampire novel. Why does somebody with all those boxes of books ever buy a new book? That's beyond me. But you have to understand, the one thing that I don't like to do is get rid of books. Now, when I realized how much I do have, I am going to go through, whether it's before I move or after I move or whatever, and seriously take a look and say, am I ever going to read this again? But starting in my late teens, when I was in college, I worked in a used bookstore. And, we didn't get paid very much, but one of the perks was we got discounts on books. And that was when I really started buying books. And, just got in the habit, and then everybody knows I like to read, so of course that would be the present for me. If people were, giving me presents, they'd ask me what books I wanted, blah, blah, blah. There's yard sales, there's thrift shops, there's used bookstores, there's just about everything. And once I read a book, if I liked it, I wanted to hang on to it. I have always wanted a lot of books. When I was a kid, we just didn't buy books. And I don't think it was necessarily us. I don't think it was as common back then. Oh God, it makes me sound like, we were doing cave paintings instead of reading. But, a lot of my friends had more books than I did, but my mother didn't particularly like reading as a recreation. We had reference books, but not a lot of for fun books. Although we went to the library. My father took us to the library every week. But I just thought it was so cool as I kept accumulating more and more and more and more books. Well, I'm 50 now. And as you can see, I have done some massive amounts of accumulating. And, it really is time to just kind of go through those boxes and say, do I really want to read this again? And what will happen a lot of times is if I find an author that I really like who does a mystery series, for instance, and say they've been doing it for a long time, so they have 8 or 9 books out, I will, poke around and dig around until I finally accumulated all of them. They don't have to match or anything like that, but they can be in whatever format I come across at, different places, thrift shops, used bookstores, whatever. So some can be hardback, some can be paperback. But if you've ever read a whole series of things, you don't always like all the books by a certain author equally. And once you've read them all, kind of like the whole backstory. So it's not like you pick up the last book in a 15-book series and you really don't know how people got to the places that they are. I usually pick up that information and retain it, even if I think the mystery itself was a little lacking. So I've got to go through things like that, series of books, and just say, I didn't like this particular one in the series. I am not going to keep it for the sake of completion, because pretty soon I will be sleeping on my balcony. So yeah, that's it. That's me and my book addiction. Oh, on Sunday, Bruno is going to randomize our YouTubers book club list. So we will finally have the order in which we're reading books. And I am so excited about that. I am just really, really excited. So, I know some people have responded saying they just don't really feel like putting out a list of, books. We're doing 2, by the way. Each person submits 2. And that's absolutely fine. You can join along. You can start at the beginning. You can skip books you don't like. But just remember that for this first pass, we're going to do the randomizing on Sunday and then set, maybe a time to start reading or whatever. If you're interested in submitting your 2 selections, you have to do it by then. Okay. My healthy thing. Okay. I haven't been talking about that a lot. I haven't been doing badly, but I haven't been doing well. In other words, this week was probably the worst week for going off. I won't call it a diet, but deviating from the healthful path, is what I will call it. I had French fries with ketchup twice, and I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, and it really isn't compared to some of the things I have done in the past in terms of, just deciding I'm unhappy, I'm upset, I'm going to eat my way out of my bad mood, which really is not all that helpful. But, when I took the nieces to a little kosher deli restaurant thing, I just felt like having French fries. You know how you can even smell I can smell ketchup and fries. I can smell that combination. And I just decided I had to have it. So I've done that twice. And I didn't binge on them or gorge on them. I got the smallest order possible. So, it's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. I have not, other than that, and other than getting a smoothie here or there, a soy smoothie, I really have not gone off and, I got one dark chocolate bar that's lasted me for about 2 weeks. So, I am doing really well in that respect. But there are a lot of further changes I want to implement, and I really haven't gone any further on that. I have been doing some yoga, but not nearly as much as I wanted to, and I have been doing some walking, and mainly because I keep up with the walking, either going down to the gym. There's a little gym in the apartment complex clubhouse that has treadmills, as well as, the weight machines and all that, but I don't even go near those. Or I just sort of circle the big parking lot. There's 3 high rises, so the parking lot that goes around this whole complex and cluster is fairly extensive, so I don't go by distance, I go by length of time. I am up to 20 minutes now. My original little sort of lurching hobble was a 10-minute lurching hobble, and this is, actually it's ranges from a trudge to a normal walk, and for me, that's an accomplishment. So, I think next week I am going to start, reassessing. I've come so far from the way I was eating, say, in December. It's like 2 different diets. The refrigerator looks like someone else's refrigerator. So I am pleased. But, this is not it. This is not where I want to be. I am guessing I could probably lose between 30 and 50 pounds. Probably closer to the 50. And if I want to really feel healthy and to stave off a lot of the weight-based health problems. But anyway, this was supposed to be long, and here I go. I'm still going. So this was supposed to be short, and yet it is long. So anyway, everybody have a great evening. Things are kind of looking up with my cousin. She sent me an email today. She hasn't returned my calls, but she sent me an email, and it was friendly for her, and I will do an update on her, and just not tonight because I'm tired and I'm afraid I couldn't put together coherent thoughts. So anyway, everyone have a lovely, lovely, fun evening, and a wonderful day tomorrow, and I will see you tomorrow or the next day. Okay, bye.